Astronomical aloha, I'm M.
We won.
Cypher, and as the rays of summer slam down on us, enhanced by the emissions from the data centers built by trust fund tech morons desperate to create Dorko's basilisk, air frying the planet and turning us into panting, dripping husks, and not in the fun way, one naturally thinks of heading to the beach, if only to walk directly into the ocean and keep on going. And when one thinks of the beach in Transformers, what always immediately springs to mind is the BotBots episode The Science Alliance, but also the original Transformer beach bum, Beachcomber. So let's take a look at a few toys of the various incarnations of this mellow mechanoid, and a few related bots. You dig? Let's start with the original 1985 Beachcomber toy, which isn't one of the new pics in this update, but I wanted to talk about him a tiny bit up front, what with it being the genesis of this whole update and all. First, I want to note that this vehicle mode is actually a Chenoweth Hellfire Fast Attack vehicle, a military off-roader that is often heavily armed, which is amusing. But there's also a little-known variant to this toy. Early samples have metallic silver thighs and wheel hubs rather than the way more common light gray. So that's fun for you rarity hunters out there. Speaking of metallics, Beachcomber was one of 4 mini-vehicles to get dipped in delicious vac metal chrome for release in the first proper year of Generation 2. Honestly, green works for him as a color. It's nice. And he couldn't be blue chrome since he shipped with Seaspray, who was already blue chrome. I suppose Seaspray could have been different colors, but nah. Green feels thematically a pro for Komi. It'd be over a decade before we saw another Beachcomber toy, and when we did, well, it definitely wasn't a mini vehicle. Energon Beachcomber is a redeco of the Mega Class Cliff Jumper, a massive off-road Baja buggy with electronic sounds and spring-loaded missile launchers. He can also form the top or bottom half of a 2-bot combiner with most Autobots from both the Mega and smaller Combat Class Autobots, though he's definitely a bit hefty when a Combat Class toy is acting as his pants. No, really, this toy is huge. In the Energon cartoon, this toy was actually a powered-up version of Cliff Jumper, except this toy was never sold in Japan, which makes its inclusion in the show odd, given how little say either Hasbro or Takara's toy teams had and what went on in it. Maybe Takara initially planned to sell it, but flagging sales due to the show sucking major led them to cancel it? I mean, they didn't even release the 6-Shot toy, and he was actually a major antagonist in the series. It was a weird time. It'd be another stretch before we got another Beachcomber, but in 2008 we got the original back, and once again in tiny form. Part of the massively expanding Legends class assortment, sold in the second line to be called Transformers Universe. Transformers can be kinda really recursive, don't know if y'all have noticed that. This version of Beachcomber now turns into... something from the Halo games? I don't know, I don't play Halo. But it is again funny that the noted pacifist once again is a military vehicle, and this time he's actually armed. Sure, he can't use the gun in robot mode, but still, its very presence is a mild amusement. Revenge of the Fallen's toy line was an explosion of off-screen characters, and lots of redecos thereof, which is where we got the Movieverse incarnation of Beachcomber. He was only available in a Walmart-exclusive 2-pack with the Decepticon Deadlift, who is way more interesting than this Beachcomber.
So let's forget about them and follow instead
Deadlift, whose name is literal. His actual job in the Decepticon army is lifting dead bodies to be smelted down for raw materials. Gruesome. He's a redeco of Dirt Boss from the same line, who's based on the Scrapper forklift drones from the tie-in video game for the first movie. And not only is this an alt mode we've never had before in Transformers toys, which is pretty rad, but his deco is based on the old Tonka GoBots forklift, the Renegade Spoons. Forks, spoons, you get it? Yeah. He's even got a little MR34 tampo on him, as in Machine Robo 34, the original Popey toy's ID number. I love this little guy so much. Oh, and here's Beachcomber's mold originator Dune Runner, as a bonus pick. By which I mean I did this picture intending to talk about him and Beachcomber more, but then while writing the script I realized a way cooler Spoons homage existed and needed a new pick way harder, so I shifted focus to him. But I mean, I put in the image work already, so enjoy. You know what I haven't really done much of in these videos yet? Kre-O. You know who's got a couple Kreons who need pics on the wiki? Well, lots of characters, but the one most relevant to this video would be Beachcomber. Surprising, I know. Let's start with this one, part of a 30 Kreon Class of 85 set exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con 2015. And that 2015 is important, as this was the year Hasbro introduced a completely redesigned Kreon body. I know they look the same, and I'm not going to get into all the changes here, but basically almost everything below the neck post is broadly incompatible with Kreons from the prior 4 years. You can see this in action with the 2017 re-release of the Micro Changer Beachcomber, part of a string of Kre-O re-releases exclusive to Dollar General stores in the US. Micro Changers came with extra bits to convert them into vehicles or beasts or whatever, and aside from the new bodies, these re-releases usually have lots of little deco changes from the originals. Here's the original Beachcomber. How many differences can you see? Leave your score in the comments below and feel good about it. Ooh, this one also lets me bring up a fun factoid. Micro Changer Beachcomber was used to make what is likely the last Kreon to ever be released. A pale olive version of this Kreon without the extra vehicle bits, called a N.E.S.T Sentry, was put into the Universal Studios Park exclusive Kreon 4-pack in 2020, replacing ride exclusive character Evac. Why this Kreon and this deco? Well, remember Revenge of the Fallen Beachcomber, who was made from the olive-greeny Dune runner, who turns into a N.E.S.T buggy? There you go. Why'd they replace Evac? No idea. At some point, Universal just decided to erase him from everything but the ride proper. Maybe he tried to wipe out the Potter part of the park, which is entirely justified. It's been a while since our last mainline G1 Beachcomber. A decade after the Universe Legend, he came back in rideable form as part of the Power of the Primes toy line, alongside a bunch of other mini-vehicle characters. Based way more heavily on the original toy and animation model, this one also has an open driver's compartment that can seat a Prime Master or Titan Master minifigure. And it wasn't until I was editing this picture that I was hit by a stunning revelation. Beachcomber looks a lot like Zoot from the Muppets. I mean, look at this. You see it, right? Eh?
I tried to leave last night, but this sign said fire door. I didn't want to risk it.
You know what? This is my headcanon now. Beachcomber is Zoot. Actually, the more I think about it, the 1985 mini-vehicle lineup maps onto the Electric Mayhem surprisingly well. Powerglide, he's totally a Dr. Teethian showman. Sea Spray, that voice and go-with-the-flow attitude feels fairly Floyd. Cosmos, the total space case, yeah, he may be physically more like Dr. Teeth, but he's a Janus for sure. Does this mean he and Sea Spray are a couple? Why not? Get to the fan art, y'all. And Warpath, absolutely animal. This does kind of leave Lips in the lurch, which is a shame. I don't know, maybe he might be a bumper, since Lips wasn't really part of the original band, but has been around forever anyway. This is the kind of garbage my brain does that frequently has me wide awake at 2 a.m. And finally, let's wrap up this beach-themed episode with the obvious closer, Star Wars Transformers Luke Skywalker Snowspeeder. Now, there's probably one or two of you out there wondering what the connection here is. Why Star Wars? What in the Buffalo Ranch is wrong with me? First, the courts have yet to hand down that ruling. Second, I'ma explain. See, Luke Skywalker was played by actor Mark Hamill, and as everyone knows, Mark had a groundbreaking 3-episode run as Divine Rod Petrie on the smash hit television series Son of the Beach. Thanks for hanging out under the pier with me. What's your favorite episode of Son of the Beach? And why the hell don't we have a Transformers Collaborative Baywatch toy? Leave your unhinged conspiracy theories in the comments. Oh, and I don't know, maybe say something about Beachcomber, I guess? If you've enjoyed this incredibly normal look at Transformers toy history, I'd appreciate if you knew that I am stone cold sober. Also, if you'd like the video, subscribe to the channel, and maybe inflict it on a friend or two. See what precious memories of Son of the Beach they've scabbed over. You can also support me more directly via Patreon. And at the higher tier, you can help me pick a monthly theme that I will definitely cover with grace and dignity. Thanks for watching, and keep on choogling.